Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. You joined me on the hottest day of the year so far, and I've decided to work on my heated seats. To be fair, I never really liked these seats. I mean, they look nice, but it's fake leather and, well, it just kind of heats up in the summer. And in winter it's very cold, so... But I have heated seats and they kind of work. But a while back I bought these. Here's one. And there's the other one. And what I like about these seats is they're half leather and half cloth, which is actually very nice. I think they're the best looking. They are a little bit damaged. At least one of them is a bit damaged and the other one as well, a little bit here. But when I bought these seats, I made a little mistake, and it was that I didn't check if they had heating in them. And of course, as it turned out, they didn't. So I've decided to make the heating myself. These are just pads that I bought from AliExpress. I thought bigger is better. And well, I thought if they go under here, it would kind of fit. I got a decent connection because obviously they don't work. And I made these homemade connections. They do work, I've tested them. So now it's just a simple task of putting them into the seat. What you should have is, well, obviously those pads. If I were you and you're going to do this job, please make sure they are one size smaller. Of course they have to be like 13 volts or something in that order. They have to be of a certain temperature, not too hot of course. And they're 25 watts. I don't know what that means. We're going to put those in, but first we have to make sure that we can slide them in here and there. And that means, well, cutting off some stuff under there, so we're going to do that. Under here, please stay. Under here we have to make sure that this comes off that way. And then there are a lot of pins, which I will show you later, which we have to cut, unfortunately. So this rear piece here is held in by two little clips. And two little ropes that have been elastic at some point in their life, but after 30 years they're not anymore. So that's that gone. And now you see this piece of the seating is held in by little clips. So we're going to cut those. Look at the state of this. If we want to be able to move the heating pad in here, it's very handy if you can pull it from the other side here. So we're also going to cut these away. Now we can easily remove this from the cushion. So the upper part is also held in by these clips, which we also have to cut. Now this part is also loose, which is the part that holds the front in. Now we have access to the front, which is not very easy, and we have access to the cushion on the bottom. We can enter here, and we're just going to feed the pad through. Here's the pad, and there's like this, there's a glue strip here, which I'm not going to use because it will be impossible to feed it through that way. So I'm just going to around like that. Just going to feed it like that. Take off my watch. Feed it through, careful not to break it. And now I'm going to grab it on the other side, if possible. Just going to feed my hand through here. I'm just going to pull it. Yes, nice. So on the front it looks like this. There's the pad. Just going to lay it like this. And there it is on the rear. Well, actually it sits quite nicely. And now the other side. So first I'm going to feed the pad through there to make sure it's on the front side of the seat, of course. This is the hardest part. You have to feed it in here. And for that you'll need a little bit of time and patience. So the hardest part is to make sure that the corners are somewhere here or there, and at the same time do not break it. So yeah, I can feel it. So yeah, it is feelable, but I think it's not too bad. And now it's in. This whole job will cost you per seat approximately 20 minutes, I think, maybe a little bit more. I can feel the edge here, all the way down, and then the other edge is here, which is nice for your lower back. And then the seating pad is here, and I can feel some edges here, but yeah, as I said, I'm going to sit on it and it will flatten out, hopefully. So let's put the seat back together as it was and see if we can fix this damage. So if you would do this job correctly, you would of course connect these parts again. I'm not gonna bother because I don't care. So I'm just going to put this flap over here and you will not be able to see. Here we go. You see? Fixed. So this needs to fit over here. Oh god. Wow. I'm missing one of the clips here, but no matter. I've got spare ones. So to fix up this seat, I have bought this vinyl patch, which you can put here. But I want to put it under here, because I think that looks a little bit nicer. So I'm gonna cut it in the shape of this piece of the seat right here. And I'm gonna glue it together with this glue, which is very dangerous, it says. So we're gonna wear protection for that. Okay, so I've got this piece of vinyl, like so, and I'm going to try to feed it through this hole, which may or may not work, but we'll try. Yeah, kind of like this. Now we'll have to glue this together. I'm not going to take any risk, so I'm well protected now. And if we apply this this glue, we have like 60 seconds to work with. There we go. Very nice. Okay. Well, let's remove these gloves. We're going to let this dry for the next hour. In the meantime, we're going to take out the passenger seat and, well, put that one in, I guess. So there we go. There's one seat out. There we go. Yeah, I do like that. Before we actually tighten it down, I want to check if the heated seats work. Yeah, I think so. I think it works. I can feel some heat in there. That's nice. Ooh. It's very comfortable. I'm liking this. Okay, let's head over to the other side. And so the seats are in. And look at that. That is nice. Let me sit down for a minute. Ooh, it's quite comfortable. That looks nice. Yeah, I can go on a road trip like this. And here are the old seats. So I've got 2 half leather seats and 2 full leather seats in the back. Maybe in the future I'll search for 2 of those. They cannot be too expensive, I think, because these ones were for free, so that is nice. And that concludes this video in which I got very warm. It's still 35 degrees or something. I still wanted to patch this up nicely. It is glued now, but I also want to make sure the seats are looking a little bit better. Thank you very much for watching, and see you again next time. Bye bye.